Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm Will. I'm joined by my co-host over here, the Greeze. Say hello, Greeze.
I'm fired up because you told me before this thing that we were going to drink a lot.
Yeah, well, this is our second start because Greeze got a little too excited when I said we're going to drink a lot.
About some tequila.
And so he just started holding up trophies, holding up samples. So I'm like, we need to focus. We need to start over.
Well, I needed a hard reset.
Yeah, and it's fine.
I'm just grabbing things on the bar here.
You
like,
ever
have you see this?
I found an acorn. You ever seen one of these?
I've got the podcast knife over here.
Yeah. All right. So we are starting it off. We've got Chris Propokiak sent this sample. This is the Russell's Reserve single rickhouse release they did. This is Camp Nelson Warehouse C. I think it's like $200, $300 little Fiesta over here.
Yeah.
So
dude, it's dark.
Grease is holding up a black Glencairn. For those of you listening,
I can't even. Honestly, motor oil. Goodness. Oh, it smells heaven.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Off profile, maybe. It doesn't like just sing "This is turkey" to me.
Yeah.
There's like a little bit of nutty in there.
$249.99.
$249
SRP.
99. This is what we're drinking right now.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we have rich friends.
He sent us like $1,000 worth of samples.
I know.
To do, and we've done it over the course of like 5 episodes now. But
right.
I mean, cheers to Chris, and
cheers
thank you, Chris. We couldn't make this content. We literally could not make this part of the content without you. So we appreciate it. But what do you think? The nose, you're right. It is a little non-turkey on the nose, but I still get a lot of the rye, like the high rye that they have in their mash.
What am I trying to think that this smells like?
Bourbon.
Yeah, there's some spice in there. There's some spice on
a lot of spice on the palate. Oh,
God.
And a mouthfeel. It's
you chew that
explosion of flavor.
You chew that.
Yeah.
Buy it now, $250.
Yeah. It's only it's aged for over 10 years.
I've had things for $200 that are way worse.
72 barrels in the batch, and I think it's 112 proof. I could be 112.4 proof. It's the center cut floors 3 and 4 of that rick house that they brought this together in. Man, good.
They had to have
man, that's some good turkey.
Yeah, did they just happen upon it and be like, oh, this is a good little batch of barrels?
No one happens upon anything. Well, Camp Nelson, I think, isn't open anymore. I don't think it's a thing anymore.
No, I'm saying,
yeah,
like the employees, not like just random guests.
Well, of course.
I love those barrels over there.
You should do a batch.
You should do a batch of those, and it should be a special release. $249.99.
Tasting through them. Batch them.
Dude, you're going to batch that.
That'd be my job if I was at a distillery. It'd be like walking through, and they'd say, well, what do you think? Batch them. Which ones? This and this and this, and batch them. That's a small batch.
I don't even know how we got here.
Yeah.
Or where we're going. It does not matter.
No.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
That's
batch them.
That's a similar thing to my buddy and I. We just go, and Sue. Like when we have it's not that
You're looking
funny.
for Sue.
No, we're talking about suing people.
Oh, like a lawsuit. You're a litigious man, are you?
Oh, you wore shorts before April 15th, Sue.
I don't think you can sue for that.
That's the joke.
Oh, got it. Now I understand.
You get it.
You're saying we should sue you for something that's not worthy of a lawsuit.
Is that what voice was that?
That was me being annoyed at your all the litigation you're
I love it.
All right, so what
Chris,
do you get? You're a buy on this?
Yeah, at $250, I'm a buy. That's crazy.
I'll say he sent us some hitters, some really good samples.
This is the best one.
I'm kind of glad we saved this for. I don't know though, that double oaked or the heavy char bourbon.
That one was
like
great.
Top 5 pours ever.
This has a better mouthfeel.
Yeah,
it's chewy.
It's good. I would drink it again. Hands down, if he wants to pour me another pour, I will drink it again.
This has perfectly balanced oak to it.
Yeah.
Like, just when you think it's about to go bitter, it just keeps on finishing and keeps on lingering. Like, I can't even talk right now because my salivatory glands are like just being all Rambo fighting
You're like
herd
you're
of
like a
pigs.
dog that's got a little piece of bark. You know, when they chew on a stick and they get a little piece of bark stuck in their gum,
Or
like in between their tongue and their gum, and they're just drooling everywhere, and you got to fish it out.
Or if a dog gets a hold of a whole garlic baguette.
Oh, I don't think that's good for a dog to eat garlic. That can kill them.
Well, my dog ate it.
Well, that's not good.
A whole ginormous piece of bread.
Garlic is toxic for a dog. That's why they were drooling like crazy.
Are you for real right now?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
Garlic's toxic for dogs, I think. I said 100%, I think. So check your facts at home.
I'm gonna need to text Lauren.
Basically, never let your dog eat anything except for dog food, and you're safe.
Okay.
And even then,
Well, we got insurance.
bad dog food. Yeah, you should.
So if
Should
crap
insure
hits
everything.
if crap hits the fan.
You know, well, with your dog, crap literally hits fans.
Right.
It just all over the place.
Okay, now you're Donald Duck.
All right. Well,
We've gone from Winnie
your
the Pooh
your dog poops like Donald
to
Duck.
Elmer Fudd.
That's your
Donald
dog
Duck.
pooping.
Dude, that Donald Duck's pretty solid.
Well, except for I can't enunciate. I just have to make the sound. Just. Oh, there were some more sounds in there.
Yours is way better. I tried to say the podcast boom when I talked earlier. And
I thought you were just making sounds like me. I wasn't
know.
trying to say words. That's like Donald Duck being murdered.
yeah, no, he's
That's
being
like
choked out.
That's his last breath. Is he saying
Yeah.
the podcast boom because Greeze killed him?
Yeah, he's in the octagon and he just got slapped. And he just can't even formulate sentences. That's what just happened.
We are hot tonight, folks.
We're so hot. I have my Friendly Southerner t-shirt on.
Hey,
always a good time.
I want to talk about what you did last weekend, but before I do, we're coming in hot because we had such a good time last night with our friends over at Town Hall. So if you're interested in hanging out with us, being a little rowdy on a school night, go to patreon.com/thepodcast and join up for that Town Hall level. You won't be disappointed. It's a blast. We have a great time.
Yeah, we chatted for about 2.5 hours last night. You were on, but I let a couple of cats out of the bag. Some fun news coming down.
Yeah. The worst, always.
The worst?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, when I
always,
say-
I'm letting stuff out.
Well, I like
No, but he does. He says stuff, and I'm always like, I get heartburn, and it's fine. But if you want to see me get heartburn and learn some things that may or may not happen in the future, patreon.com/thepodcast Town Hall level. Check it out. But I want to know, you went to ASW in Atlanta over the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so
What'd you do?
I traveled down and got there. Whit was there. Justin was not there this time. Last time I was there, Justin was there, but Whit had COVID.
So for those of you that don't know, Justin is the kind of the head
Master
master distiller.
Yeah.
And Whit's like his
Assistant distiller.
right-hand man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
They are fantastic. They came up to Whiskey Weekend Batch 4 in Louisville. They brought down the house. Like people fell in love with their
Super
whiskey.
knowledgeable, just salt of the earth, simple people that just love what they do.
Yeah.
Freaking great.
Yeah.
So I get there. The distillery is beautiful, by the way. It's kind of like this industrial,
Where in
but
Atlanta is
newly renovated industrial building.
Yeah.
It is right there where 75 and 85, just north of downtown,
Okay.
come together.
Nice.
Right there at the split.
Yeah.
So I mean, pretty crazy location right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got there. Whit took us to this back room area, which is super cool. It's like this big, almost, I mean, if you think of a ballroom, but with whiskey barrels everywhere.
Yeah.
Got tables in there.
It's almost like a barrel room.
Yeah, it's a barrel room, but it's a gathering room more so than a barrel. Which, by the way, I did ask if those barrels had whiskey in them, or is this just for decoration? He's like, yeah, they got whiskey in them.
Yeah. It's like we don't have just space to have empty barrels laying around.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. So we got there. They fed us. We got some cocktails. It was awesome. Then we did a little bit of a tasting with our Amburana pick.
Right, which is for Oak and Thieves. Amburana, it's their bourbon, right?
Yes, it is their bourbon, and it is it's like a Brazilian wood.
Yeah, the Amburana. There's I know that like Starlight does their cigar blend in an Amburana wood.
Yes.
It's an exotic wood, and a lot of times when you get a barrel of it, I think people reuse that one barrel several times because it's expensive to procure.
And it is a powerful flavor profile.
Right. So you almost want to use it several times to be able to kind of knock down the intensity a little bit.
So they did 2 batches prior to this, and it was a first fill. So like it was a brand new barrel. They said when you were kind of putting your nose even towards the glass, you just got blasted. And it was, Wit really likes the one that we got more than that because it's the second use.
Right.
And it's still powerful. It's still a very big flavor profile, but it's not as psycho.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What would you like? What do you pick up on? Like, or at least what would you try to compare it to when you talk about the flavor? Because I mean, you're saying intense. It's a big flavor.
Super floral nose.
Yeah.
Super floral nose to the point where I thought Amburana was like a flower.
Interesting. Like they'd almost put petals in
right.
it. Right.
I was like, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
With a touch of cinnamon on the nose.
Okay.
The palate is big red bubblegum. Chewing gum.
Yeah, I was about to say, Big Red is not a bubble gum.
Yeah, it's a chewing gum.
Yeah, so that cinnamon gum flavor.
Very cinnamon,
but sweet cinnamon too.
Sweet cinnamon.
Yeah.
Soft. But yeah, it's like nothing I've ever tried before.
Okay.
Absolutely. And we're going to do a video on it.
Yeah.
So that we can buy bar pass it.
Did you bring some up?
Yeah,
some
I've
here?
got some.
You have mine, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's in the car.
Excited about it.
Because you know how I leave whiskey in the car.
I know. And it was like 80 degrees today. I'm going to need to get that out of your car before I leave the house tonight.
Yeah. So we tried that. I would say Brian and Leslie Griffin, they ended up buying 12 of them.
Jeez.
Is
there even any left?
They loved it so much. Yeah, there's a little bit left. And I think they're going to go to a distributor to finish that out.
Get the rest out, yeah.
Yeah, to get the rest out. But
by the way, can we just say how awesome Brian and Leslie Griffin are?
Oh no,
like
they're salt of the earth.
Coolest people.
They're the salt of the earth.
Yeah,
man. They're great people. Brian's intimidating as crap, but he's just really a teddy bear.
When you first meet him, yeah, he's like, I mean, now.
Oh no, now.
See, I'm not intimidated now. I just know that he's on my side. Of the world,
I don't think he's on my side.
Well, not many are
right
at this point.
So there's some intimidation that's there.
Well, that's fair.
Leslie's super sweet.
Yeah,
dude, Brian grabbed a wrench off of one of the tables and was just kind of walking around with it.
I could see you being intimidated.
No,
you're like, that's going through my
Leslie literally went. She was like, "Brian, put that back. Brian, put it back.
Love it.
Don't take that. That was over there." And then literally she grabbed it and she said, "Take that back." She goes over there and she puts that back. I was like, heck yeah, dude. I know who runs that house.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, 100%. Yes. If you've met them, you know.
Brian might look like he runs it, but he does not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the attack dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he protects everything, keeps everything going smooth, makes sure everyone's good.
But if you change homes,
but you know who's in charge.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
So then after that, we went on an abridged tour, which was really great. It was really cool hearing Whit's side of things as opposed to Justin's side of things. Whit actually came from coffee. So he was huge into the coffee world. Experimenting with roasting, experimenting with origin of the beans and all this other stuff, how they pull the coffee, all this other stuff. So he was super into it. And he just came by ASW and hanging out with Justin he was just curious about whiskey.
Huh.
And so he came there, he would hang out, I guess during lunch or something like that if he's working, because he was working at a coffee shop really close by. And Justin just kept talking to him about whiskey, and Whit was kind of consuming it and regurgitating it and all this other stuff. And Whit was just like, why don't you Justin was like, why don't you come and work with me?
Yeah.
Please. You got a great work ethic. You already know a lot about it. Let's do this. So he's been there ever since.
And I do feel like for people that are like into the roasting and the flavors and like cupping of coffee, like things like that, there is a lot of crossover between.
Is that the suction cup thing?
No, that is cupping.
Right.
That's a different cup. Like cupping is a way like they taste coffee. It's like a whole thing. It is not any whatever.
No, I'm just saying, like, why didn't you just, instead of saying something ridiculous like
no, that's
cupping,
what it's called. It's like it's not just like sipping it from a cup.
The coffee industry is an idiot.
No, it's like you put the grounds loosely in the hot water and then you like stir, and then you take a tiny spoon into the cup and just get the top layer and you go. Like it's a whole thing. It's not just taking a sip of coffee.
That looked like you were taking a bump.
Well, that's kind of what, I mean, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So
it's like, let me just shimmy the top off of here and
wham,
bam, Dawson,
yeah,
AKA.
no, it literally does feel like, or look like a ridiculous ritual. But they do that to get the different flavors and everything. I don't know. All I was saying is I feel like there's a lot of crossover between that type of mindset towards coffee and whiskey.
Whiskey, coffee, cigars, all of those kind of hold hands as
Sure.
far as like how you can dive into them, and the culture that surrounds all of them is crazy too.
Yeah.
But it was really cool hearing Whit's side of things. And then we went over and actually thieved some barrels. So we went through the warehouse, found a cup. One was a port rye.
You were telling me about that port rye.
Yeah, the rye that's in port barrels. It tastes like heaven, and I don't like port.
Yeah.
I don't like port. And
you know what it may
tasted
be, though?
so good.
We don't like port finish bourbon, but we love like midwinters.
Oh, yeah.
Which is port finished rye. We've also had High West, another High West product, but their double rye as a store pick that was finished in like white port that we loved. So I feel like maybe the sweetness of the port, because it's a fortified wine, and the spice of the rye, we do like.
Right.
But we don't like the sweetness of the bourbon and the sweetness of the port. It's too raisiny.
It tastes sour.
Yeah.
Like the bourbon and the port, like it seems like it's soured.
Yeah, well, maybe
sour.
it is because it's fortified wine. Maybe it just turned to vinegar.
Maybe.
Could have.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. Okay. Well, we thieved some barrels. One of them was a hitter. That one is being released at the distillery in May.
Do they do a lot of like store releases like that? Like
yes.
If you walked in their gift shop, is it just their main labels, or there's some like one-offs that
I missed out on them, but they had 2 national championship bottles for the Georgia Bulldogs from 2021.
Okay. Like,
so,
it just had a different label.
Well,
on
no,
it.
so they. Oh my gosh. So yes, they do.
Missed out.
They do put things out there.
So clearly that didn't sell very well. They still.
I understand what you're saying, Will. I really wanted them. They just said glory, glory on them.
Yeah,
I just wanted it.
Not bad.
But yeah, they put some stuff out every now and then. They've got a killer brandy that's almost sold out. That they had. It was an apple brandy.
You love a good apple brandy.
It tastes like
there's
apple.
one thing I know about you is if someone says we've got an apple brandy, you're gonna be like, I'd like to try it.
Yes,
like you're all in on apple brandy. If there was enough different variety of apple brandy, you would be tempted to say, podcast only apple brandy from here on out for me.
I don't think that would be diverse enough, Will. I don't think I could talk about it.
I'm saying I don't think there's enough, like I said, variety. But if there was enough labels out there and brands and
of apple brandy,
you would be all in. You'd be like, it's kind of my jam.
I'm going to go ahead and say that there's 100 bottles out there, different bottles of apple brandy. So we'd make it 2 years.
I think that's a pretty high estimate. I think that's a liberal estimate.
Well, you got people doing it in their homes too.
Yeah, but
that's not legal.
Well, but y'all said you're not tracking that down. Not all of it. Not all of it.
I've got a few sources. Will.
Yeah, but how many? 3?
Family.
5 tops.
Two different families, but my family.
Courtney, one of them.
No, but kinda.
Oh no.
Her
Same side.
Her brother-in-law.
Her brother-in-law.
Yeah. Her brother-in-law does it. I will not mention his name because he's under witness protection.
I doubt it.
His name's Larry.
All right. So Sim sent us some samples. We want to drink through a couple of these?
Yeah.
There's too many to drink all of tonight. Let's drink a couple of them.
So the one that I really, really want to try because we've already had a special release. This is the Old Elk Infinity Blend from 2021.
Let's do it.
I know, right? It looks like it was barreled in June of 16 and was pulled out June of, that doesn't make any sense. This is the mash bill. I'm pretty sure.
No?
What does 60/24/16 mean?
Oh, yeah, but this says 6/12/11.
Right.
So that doesn't make sense.
No, it does not.
A lot going on here.
Maybe it's 20. It's supposed to be 21. I bet he did 11. It's supposed to be 21. So it's like 5 years old, it says on here, essentially. It's 114.9 proof.
Or is it 10 years old? Because that is 11. It was 21. Then that's 10 years.
Maybe.
Who's to say?
Maybe he did it backwards. I don't know. But old Greg Metz decided he was going to do an infinity blend. He said, basically, here's what happened, Will. Everybody's doing their own infinity blends, and they all suck.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg was like, hold my beer / whiskey, and I'm gonna do an infinity blend, and I'm gonna.
I was trying to remember what we drank with him.
With Greg?
Yeah, when he was on.
We didn't do infinity blend.
I know, but we drank some really good things.
Yeah, they sent us a wheated, and like one more. I think they sent us 2 expressions.
But maybe he talked about it. I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah, dude, memory right now.
Hard.
It's
difficult.
It is difficult.
I found the video. I'm trying to see what we said about it when we had him on live.
I'm going to leave us a little sip in here, Will, just in case if it's sexual, we can come back to it.
I hear it. Well, I found the video.
Okay. It smells fabulous. Oh, that might have been my upper lip.
You got me with that. I'm dizzy. I'm blacking out. I can't see.
Speaking of blacking out, look at my Glen.
Oh. It been my upper.
Yeah, that's a different nose. A lot of floral.
Does your beard still smell like Just for Men, or does that fade pretty quick? Like the aroma.
It fades real quick. Here's the deal.
Just like the color, because now you're back to old salty.
I'm back to salt and pepper back.
Yeah. I like it better. I like the salt and pepper better. I'm not gonna lie.
If you want to see a train wreck, go and look at our latest Lent video.
Yeah.
What whiskey are you giving up for Lent? And you will see my Just for Men. That's at youtube.com/thepodcast.
Yeah.
You will see my beard.
The best part of that video
is just know that that's my wife's hair color, and I used her hair color on my beard. That's why it was so bad.
Okay. Well, I love that you've held that from me for a month.
Well, I thought
you could have. I
want to go darker.
You could have told me that, and I would have been like, "Well, that wasn't a great idea, but yeah, it makes sense." I'm just like, "The heck? What kind of Just for Men are you using?"
Well, and here's the other kicker: is that when I'm applying it, it's not dark brown. It's like a light coppery color.
Right. I understand how hair color works.
Well,
my wife was.
I did not, so I kept applying. Like caking it on, thinking that this was going to be the color of it, and I was going to get screwed.
All makes sense.
And then Lauren's like, no, it'll turn like in 5 minutes. And I was like, what kind of chemical?
You have to let it process.
Yeah, what kind of chemical situation we got going on in here?
Literally chemicals.
Right. So I went and go sat on the bed.
Oh my gosh.
And I waited for probably 8 minutes because I was like, this thing ain't going to turn my beard dark anyway. So then Lauren goes, hey, babe, you need to go wash that stuff off. And I was like, okay. And I walk into the bathroom and I look in the mirror and I'm just like, whoa. That's when I took the picture and sent it to you. And
no, I know. My favorite thing is
then I showered and it got
is
better.
that we assumed you were just using Just for Men Touch Up or something. And we've given you a little bit of crap for it for a minute now.
Just full on hair color.
And you just now are telling me like the key detail of which I probably been like, that makes sense. You learned your lesson. Now you'll move on.
So Just for Men's like a comb and like you don't have to go through a ton of hoops.
I don't know. I've never used it.
I need to try it.
But that's what most people would do, not box color from their wife's cabinet. And then there's the Greeze.
I mean, it wasn't a spray thing. Like mousse. It was like mousse. And then you take the brush and you brush it.
Here's
anyway,
the other
go watch
thing.
our lint video.
Well,
You'll see it.
The other thing is that I think some people, Joe B, still think that your beard is that dark because he watched the lint video, but we filmed that like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, right.
Like back when it was still fresh. But because that video just came out and it looks like it's that, he sent me a message. He's like, I literally cannot with the Just for Men. And I was just like, dude, it's an old video at this point. Like it was filmed a while back.
Dude, it was gone in like a week.
Yeah, it didn't stick around very
So I do need to look at Just for Men and maybe just,
I don't know.
do a casual.
Why I like the salt and pepper.
Dude, this looks like a chimpanzee booty right in the middle.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does. It
No,
looks like
no,
right
no,
there.
No. If anything, you look like the Shaggy DA.
And then my lips look like, you know what?
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's just your vanity. No one else thinks that about you. No. Everyone else thinks, the salty dog looks pretty good.
Like a monkey's butt.
No, it doesn't. You don't look like a monkey butt.
Okay. Well, felt right.
I learned something. This is coming out on this coming Wednesday, but this next Monday, but this last Monday was President's Day. And so I was reading some stuff on President's Day. And did you know that Harry Truman loved his bourbon?
He loved it.
Loved it. So much so.
Dude, what else did they do back then? It's not like they had Candy Crush or anything.
Get this, though. Every morning, and this is on, he had a house in Key West they call the Little White House, and you can go take a tour there. But they have, his daily schedule when he was down in Key West, still printed.
Bold move with Cuba down there.
Yeah. He would wake up at 7:30. Seems solid for a president. I feel like it's a little late. And he would, on the advice of his physician, he would start his morning with a shot of bourbon and then a glass of orange juice. Why can't every doctor tell us that this is on their advice?
Right.
Yeah.
You just chill it out. You got to chill it out.
Right. Now, just you start the morning, you have a bourbon.
Now, is that a hair of the dog's bourbon pour, or is that
probably? Apparently, he was into the booze.
Yes. You'd have to be dude to be president.
Well, he was vice president for FDR, and FDR died very early in his fourth term, and so Truman took over.
Yeah.
And this is before the presidential term limits, and so Truman took over, and it literally says he was in the middle of libations when he got the call that he was now president. Can you imagine me kicking it? You and me sitting back having a drink and well, hell, I'm the president now.
Dude, let's
do this.
I would love being vice president because I could just pick a couple of things. But you know what? I'm going to care about that. And then just chill.
This is what you do anyways.
I know.
This isn't, you don't have to be
I know, but you still want to be vice president. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You have too many, they're not even skeletons. They're just way out in the open online. You have too much baggage. You're an opposition researcher's dream for a campaign. Be like, this guy he picked for VP, they call him the Greeze. Ain't nobody voting for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few pictures of him shirtless with a Flynn Rider Disney Barbie.
You know that he used his wife's hair color on his beard and looked like a hobo clown.
We thought Billy Mays was dead, but then there he was.
Yeah. No way you're ever being VP.
OxyClean.
Yeah.
Speaking of OxyClean, it looks like my beard now with all the white, it looks like it's been OxyCleaned.
I got so excited about that Harry Truman story that I just downed this Infinity blend, and it's great.
It is really great.
It's really good.
I give the Russells.
The Russells is better for sure, but that is good. You know, Greg Metz knows what he's doing.
He does.
I'll give him that.
He does know what he's doing because honestly that's the best Infinity blend I've ever had.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
This is
do one more,
Armagnac.
and then we could go to the 15.
Do you want to do an Armagnac?
Let's do one. Well, maybe we go to the 15 because I feel like the Armagnac.
Oh no, this is on brand.
Bourbon.
This is on brand.
Okay.
This is a High West bourbon 10-month port finish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were talking about.
Yeah.
So this is bourbon port finish. Let's see what we think.
This is called
American Prairie Bourbon finished in port barrels.
Dessert.
All right, I'll be the judge of it.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that stands.
And then
up.
after this one, we'll go to the 15 because I have something that was sent to us that I picked up today. So, for the 15,
you didn't have to go to the store.
No, I went to the mailbox.
Greeze needs to go to the store.
Well, for a video,
yeah.
I don't think you're allowed at the store.
Well,
they have your picture posted.
Not that one.
Right, stop.
Oh, sorry.
That's a lot. Heavy point.
After you just downed it all.
Right. I need to.
All right. So you had mentioned that High West had some port finish rye
that we like. Yeah, we like midwinters, obviously. This is American Prairie Bourbon. So this would be a store pick that is finished for 10 months in port finish. I'm guessing regular port. They do some stuff in white port, and it's like the Encore, the Midwinter's Encore this year was that white port finish, and that was a spicy meatball.
Did you hear me? I'm 12. I was like, yeah. All right. This actually smells pretty good.
Smells good, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the 1792 port finish we don't like.
Yeah. Because this is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a solid bourbon.
That finish.
It's not too porte.
No.
Not too porte.
This is balanced as crap, dude.
Yeah.
How many months was in there?
10. That's the right amount of months.
That's the right amount of months. They knew what they were doing when they pulled that out.
Yeah, I'm into this.
I'm very into it.
Just our buddy Sim sent us this. Thank you, Sim. He's a town hauler.
He's a town hauler?
Yeah.
He's also coming to Whiskey Weekend. He's a great supporter, man. Like every time you talk to him, he just lifts you up.
Yeah.
And just a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's
lives in Vegas.
He's my Harry Truman.
He gets so mad about Vegas allocations, but then yet he gets some stuff there that not many people get to. But he's in smoke wagon country.
That he is.
Yeah. But Sim, thank you.
Yeah,
cheers. These are great. And I'm actually more excited to try the tequila and the Armagnac.
Mm-hmm.
But not on brand.
But also, well, I would have tried the Armagnac after the next one. I don't want it to
mess with your...
I don't want to go from bourbon, Armagnac to another bourbon because for the 15, we're doing a bourbon. And tequila...
I love how serious you take the 15.
Well, no, you're going to love what we're going to drink, buddy.
I know.
But also, the tequila is going to be 80 proof probably.
It is.
And so, you honestly, while it is completely different flavor profile, throwing that in the middle of stuff, you really want to start off with it. It's a lighter spirit. It is spicier. It's going to have more pepper. It's going to have just different notes, a little bit more vegetal. So that I would have started with instead of starting with bourbon.
Can I please ask you what vegetal means?
Like that of vegetables. Like more like plant-based.
I still don't understand why you just didn't say that.
I said it quicker.
And I'm not being crappy. I know. I vegetal.
Said it quick. Yeah.
Vegetal.
Yeah.
Can I have the language of origin, please?
Spanish.
Is that for real? No, it's not.
Burden of proof's on you, bud.
Hey, Google. What's vegetal mean? You already told me what it means.
Oh, man. You want to go to the 15 Greece?
Let's go. Let's hit the music.
Once I was drinking my bourbon.
Drinking it.
Drinking my bourbon. I have no rhythm when I'm singing.
No,
I can't do two things at once.
I messed up too. I was just hoping we could get in that groove that we've gotten in before. I was hanging with the fellas.
All right, you want me to pour it up for you, or do you want me to? You want to come back and us pour it, and we can talk about what it is?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do that. Rinse out your glass.
Just a scotch. At least it was water that time.
Lick it up.
This is 100% lead-based paint. Every time I lick it, my tongue turns black and it tastes like metal.
Some of the people watching did a reel on Instagram, and it was the one where you licked the paint, and
People were getting so mad.
No, it got demonetized. And I the only thing I can think is because I said you licked lead paint, and so I'm wondering if they thought that was quote dangerous behavior because that's against the
code of ethics.
I got it reviewed though, and on the second review they gave it back. But it took 2 reviews. The first one was like, "No, still this is bad behavior."
You never know when that's going to take off. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just never know.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
And we're back from the 15.
Some say we never left, Will.
So we got a package today,
Yeah.
and
Who's it from?
well, it's from our friends down at 13th Colony. So they sent us last year's, which came out in the fall, the Double Oak Bourbon. They sent us samples of it. They went back and they saw the video we did about that's yours. I have one too.
Okay.
If you just want to open one, we can just open one tonight.
No, I want you to drink out of yours.
Okay. So this was the Double Oak Bourbon, 135.3 proof that they put out. It says it's bottled at cask strength and is uniquely matured in separate charred oak barrels to extract additional soft, sweet oak character.
Dude, their stuff is so dark.
Finished with toasted maple wood, this bourbon packs a punch at 135.3 proof, but it's luxuriously smooth on the palate. This is 13th Colony in its purest form. So they sent us an email. They saw the video where we talked about we did their regular bourbon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm having to put a piece of tape on the outside because it's sticking. Boom.
Oh, I didn't have any issues at all.
Well,
And
this
they
was
sent us an
suction.
email and said, hey, we unfortunately sold out of all our bourbon, but can we send you some samples? We would really appreciate the kind words. Because we talked about how much I love the rye and you love the rye. And then we tried their...
dude, it's some of the best rye out there.
But then we did a video on their bourbon, the Southern bourbon. Remember?
Yes.
And that's what they saw. And they said, thank you for the kind words. And then we were like, oh, by the way, our partners in Oak and Thieves, Bob and James, were just down there and talked y'all out of a couple barrels coming soon. And so, but I said something funny in it like, hey, I literally, since I tried your rye 5 years ago, have been the Tennessee evangelist for 13th Colony.
Yes.
That's what I said. And so here's the note. It says, we appreciate your support at 13th Colony. We will now start referring to you as our Tennessee whiskey evangelist. We included 2 samples so each of you can get a full pour. We can't wait to hear what you think best. Your friends at 13th Colony.
13th Colony, if you're watching this, y'all are freaking awesome.
So this is over 9 years old, 135.3 proof. They did this limited release in October of 2023 or 2022, but here's some news. A second release is happening this year. This
I
is
want
gonna
you to smell that and tell me that's not George C. Staff.
But is this not awesome that this is going to be an annual thing, it looks like? We just broke some news. Their second release of this is coming this fall. So be on the lookout for it.
You need to be on the lookout.
Oh, heavens. Heavens.
I told you. Like, if I was blinded, I would sniff that and I would say, this is George T. Staff.
This is a big boy bourbon.
This is a big boy
This
bourbon.
is gird your loins and prepare to drink.
Do you think they sent us like some stupid barrel?
No,
They
they have a few still bottles that they're using for like promotional purposes and to let people know it's coming again.
This is a pour that you could smell for an hour and then finally drink.
And you are one of the last people on earth to say that because you always are like, it's dumb to keep smelling your whiskey.
No, because it is dumb.
Yeah, but when say that,
but not
you mean it.
But not when it's this.
I'm glad they sent us 2 full samples so that I
100%.
can hang on to this.
I would literally fight you for this.
It's odd that I won't. It's like sometimes you get a sample or something, you're like, this I will not share.
Right.
Yeah, this is one of those. Now, James told us it was special because he tried it and picked up like a couple bottles and hoarded them.
Yeah, he did. It smells so good. And here's the deal, guys. We don't have to sit here and just keep, gushing over this. We're gushing because it's actual.
I'm done. It's over. It's all over. Sometimes you just know when to pack it in.
Nobody makes whiskey like that.
No. Georgia born and Georgia bred.
Nobody makes whiskey like this. I haven't tasted whiskey like this.
That's exciting. That excites me.
Yeah.
Few
This
bourbons
is 9
these
years
days
old?
excite me like this 135.3 proof 9+ year old.
I don't even know what notes. I haven't even concentrated.
Sweet Georgia red clay.
A hint of Abercrombie inside of Mala, Georgia.
I get a touch of below the gnat line.
Down there in Macon.
Yeah. Well, America's would be main thing. Yeah, America. Yeah.
That's the one thing I don't like about 13th Colony.
About it being in America's?
Yeah.
Why? Because you can't say it well?
No, because it immediately infers that you're just kind of a redneck. Where you live? America's. Like, are you saying America's or
no? It's America's.
I know what it is. I'm just saying those reds.
I will say that I was in a conversation with someone the other day, and they were talking about a place in Georgia, and I forget the name of the town, but the town was a small town, and then someone said in this conversation, "Well, where is that in Georgia?" And then they said the county. And then there's like, well, I don't know what county that is. And they go, it's near Americus. And I immediately turned and said, I go, never has Americus been the geographic reference point.
Yeah.
Like also you could have just been like, it's not too far from Columbus.
Right.
Like Americas typically isn't like, it's not like, okay, you're not getting it. I gave you the city. I gave you the county. Dadgummit, it's near Americas. Almost shattered a glass.
Yeah, when I tell people where I'm from, I'm like, I'm kind of from near Helen, Georgia.
Yeah, because people have heard of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people.
And if they haven't heard of it, you just say in the mountains.
Dude, you've got a couple options down
Do you
there.
know where the Dillard House is?
I sure do.
Then you're not too far from me. That's all you gotta say.
That's true.
Dillard House. Okay, as a child, the Dillard House was like, that's an event, right? Like when you're going on vacation to the mountains, you're going to the Smokies.
Yeah, you go in
like
for
the
dinner.
Family goes
style.
to the Dillard House, and you're excited about it.
Yeah.
Have you been as an adult?
Yes, because my family reunion takes that over every year.
As a child, it was something to look forward to. How is it as an adult?
Not great.
That's what I was afraid
It's
of.
not great. Their breakfast, solid.
Okay.
But it's hard to mess up breakfast.
I mean, I've had some messed up breakfast.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not like you go around and everybody messes up breakfast. I need to stretch my legs. Sorry.
He's getting the old stiff leg.
I know. I'm freaking old, dude. Look at my beard.
It looks like
dude,
a monkey's butt.
Dude, I hope 13th Colony watches this so that they know how obsessed I am. This is a good question. What would you pay for a bottle of this?
$100 easy.
I would pay more. I'd pay probably $150.
Okay. Yeah.
For the experience that I'm having right now.
I shouldn't have said that where they can see it.
No.
Because I think it's only like $70 or something.
Don't watch.
Yeah.
God, dude. Good on them. You know, it's interesting. We haven't really had like because ASW doesn't have stock this old.
Right.
So this is kind of like the first Georgia distillery that, that actually has a really great shot, and they've got a good amount of stock, and it's old, and
Here's the thing with them too.
so freaking pumped.
Is they did it the hard way.
Right.
They made their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They aged their own stuff. I don't know. I've just loved their product since the first time I tried it. And that the Southern Rye is in my top 5 favorite whiskeys. Not maybe the top 5 best things I've ever had, right? Like that's a different category. Yeah. But it's like, what are your favorite whiskeys, things that you can get? Like that's top 5 for me. The Southern Rye is one of my, if you were to say, what are the top 5 things that are your favorites? You know, I would put, I would put that in it. I would put probably.
Well, with single barrels and stuff, it's hard for me to.
No, I'm not saying like specific.
You're just saying brand.
Yeah, like
small batch brands.
Sure. Yeah. So I would say that like Weller Antique, like Weller 107 is one of my favorite whiskeys. The Southern Rye is one of my favorite whiskeys. I would say E.H. Taylor is one, like,
yeah, you love that, yeah.
Probably I would even say small batch if you just want me to be generic. Like
you love small batch.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite whiskeys.
I'm gonna need you to finish that pour and really remember it, because I'm pouring George T. Stagg right now, and I just want to know how it stands up as far as proof, mouthfeel, balance.
Which year is this?
This is 2020. 130.4.
Rare Breed is one of my favorite, like those. And so I'm not meaning specific, like Kentucky Owl Batch 7.
Right.
Maybe one of the best whiskeys I've ever had.
Dude, smell
those
it.
Are two different things.
Smell it. Not far off.
No.
At all. You still get that. I mean, I get that like really great bubble yum note. That's just oak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So this is obviously older.
15 years versus 9 year, but it is
but
double
the
up.
Profile feels so similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like the experience.
Honestly, this is a little bit softer because it's a little older. A little bit more time in the wood. But you know what I'd also throw at you? What we should have compared it to? Stagg Jr.
We should have done that.
Yeah. Next time.
All right. I'm going from the George C. Stagg to the 13th Colony.
All right.
The palate is better.
On which?
13th Colony. The finish takes the win for the George C. Stagg.
Okay.
Still stupid.
There's a little bit of bitterness, like charred oak bitterness, on the 13th Colony. I don't get from George T. Stagg, but
You're talking about the finish.
Yeah, I'm splitting hairs here, though.
Yeah,
I'm literally trying to find a nuance between this and George T. Stagg.
Yep.
That's high cotton.
Yep. So we actually have a rye pick that we're getting from them that's almost 14 years old.
Yeah.
And Bob and James said it's the best whiskey pick that they've ever done as far as the product.
And like I said, their rye is some of my favorite whiskey.
Yep. So oakandthieves.com to check that out when that comes out. Yeah. They also have some really fun news coming later, but.
All right, folks. I mean, we're a buy on this 100%. Thank you, 13th Colony, for sending it.
I didn't even, it was obvious that we were going to buy it.
Yeah. Buy it
right out of the gate.
Buy batch 2 when it comes out. But I'm going to hang on. We need to set this down.
You need to
set it up here.
Just put it over there. I love it.
Tennessee whiskey
right
evangelist.
next to the birthday bourbon. They'll be like, that's sacrilege.
All right, folks. Thank you for watching. Like I said earlier, if you're interested in supporting us, other than just watching, giving us the thumbs up, subscribing, all that, you can go to patreon.com/thepodcast, become a town hall member and hang out with us. Get to know us a little bit better than you do just watching us and commenting live or leaving a review. So go to patreon.com/thepodcast. Town hall level is what you're looking for. And you'll get to actually spend some time with our community, get to know people a little bit better. It's a great way to do it, and we're really excited when we see new faces on there because we get to meet names we see in comments or on our Facebook groups and things like that. We get to know those names behind the posts. So I'm a big fan of it myself. I love doing it. It's something we look forward to, and we know you will as well. So check that out. But other than that, Grease, we don't know jack.
But we'll drink it.